Yeah, what's up everybody? It's Brian with you from TheGameCommon, and we are playing some more Civilization 6. So I am back from vacation, and I had a long day yesterday. We had a super early flight in the morning, didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I'm pretty tired today, but I still wanted to get some more Civilization 6 knocked out and started because it's been a little bit. So we are doing another TSL, and we're doing another AI series, and this time we're going to be doing another full Earth. So I have to preference this by saying I've probably spent the last 2 hours trying to figure out exactly what we were going to do. I really wanted to do a true Earth, and the funny thing is I actually wanted to include some modded civilizations, so I ended up downloading a bunch of different Earth packs trying to get it working. We were going to use the Navajo, we were going to use Argentina, and we were also going to use, who was it? Who was the other one? Oh yeah, Ethiopia. Basically, I wanted Argentina in the true Earth to balance out Brazil, because Brazil usually has all South America by themselves, and then I wanted to use Ethiopia because the African nations tend to have a lot of room to expand as well, and then same thing with Navajo. The Navajo would kind of balance out the whole Cree and America, and basically I'm just trying to balance it out a little bit. Unfortunately, I couldn't get them to work. Like the Navajo, I think only worked, sorry, the Ethiopia only worked if we weren't doing the rise and fall, but unfortunately then I can't use the rise and fall civs, and then I was just having a bunch of issues. I finally had a map that was working, and I think I had all the civilizations working, but then the game just wasn't loading. It was just crashing as soon as I started it up. So instead, we're just going to be doing this basic true start location Earth map. I was playing this earlier, so I do know it works. It's only a standard size, so it's a little bit smaller of a map, and especially with the rise and fall rule set, a lot of our European nations are probably going to flip pretty quickly. I didn't have the closer civ mod enabled. I don't really care about the closer cities, and that just basically slows the game down a little bit too much. So most likely we're going to see either Wilhelmina or France or Germany. One of those three are going to bite it pretty quickly. We also have quick game speed, so it's going to be a little bit quicker, and then we have a 300 max turn. Also, I turned off barbarians because I don't really want anyone to be wrecked by barbarians. I want them just to focus on growing. Now, unfortunately, you know what? I'm gonna change my mind. We're gonna turn off barbarians, because if the barbarians may actually help keep Brazil in line. We'll have to see then. I just didn't really want them to get in the mix with the whole Europe stuff that's going on, so I think we're pretty good there. I am playing as Guitarja. The reason for that is if you've never watched any of our AI series before, whoever we're playing as tends to do a little worse than the other AI. So I wanted an AI that was a little isolated so that they were less likely to get conquered, because if the AI you're playing as gets conquered, it really makes the game wonky. So I think we're gonna hit start game, and then I am going to put a pause in, and I'll be back as soon as the game loads, because it usually takes a couple seconds. Yeah, crap. Yeah, I'll figure that out, and we'll get back in the game here in just a second. Yeah, so we are back. I ended up disabling all of the mods except the autoplay, and then the yet not another map pack, just so we can add in more 8 civs. And then I also kind of cheated. Instead of like manually selecting each one of the civs, because that takes forever, I basically just picked Guitarja and added 40 civs. So I don't think there's going to be any duplicates. I don't think there can be duplicates, but yeah. So we are going to have a lot of loyalty issues probably early on, specifically in Europe, and I think I'm okay with that, mostly because, you know what, if we end up losing like 5-10 civs pretty early on, I think that's okay, because what ends up happening, specifically when we're doing such large maps, or with at least so many civilizations, is they just start popping out so many units. Turns just take forever, and I mean, even now we're on turn 2 and this is taking like, you know, a good 10-15 seconds. So yeah, I don't mind if a bunch of civs get knocked out pretty early on. So over in America, we got Washington, we got the Cree, and then we have the Aztecs, which is kind of interesting for the Aztecs, because are they going to expand northwards, or are they going to expand southwards where they have quite a bit of space? Brazil's down here, and oh yeah, actually Mapuche's down here. I actually forgot that they're Argentina, aren't they? Yeah, I forgot about that. So we didn't actually need an Argentina civ, but anyways, Brazil really has one of the strongest starting locations because they have all of that juicy space. I did try finding a Colombia mod as well at some point, but I couldn't get one to work. Down in Africa, we have Zulu and Congo, and I think the last time we did the full map, the full Earth TSL, we didn't have Zulu at that point. So at least then Congo's going to have some competition down here. We have Nubia up here with Egypt, so they're going to put some pressure on each other. And then over here we have Paris and we have Poland, France and Poland, both are which are facing, both are having rebellion right away. Yeah, Netherlands, Germany, and Alexander, and then Greece. Where is... Oh, no, Alexander did put a city down. Okay, yeah, so we're immediately noticing that a couple of these guys can't actually find locations for their city, which I think, once again, that's okay. That's okay. They might be able to come put a city over there. We'll have to see. London's also facing some loyalty issues, as is St. Petersburg, Russia, and Norway. So 109... Now, so Russia's going to flip then. Over here, you're at 7 turns. You're at 4 turns. So England's going to flip here. Macedon... Rome is actually going to be okay. So Rome's in probably the best spot right here because they have a lot of potential here to eat up all these cities once they start flipping. But we'll see. We'll see if like Poland stays flipped once France and England flip. I'm not entirely sure about that. Same thing with Macedon. We'll see if they flip. Poland is the, they're going to last the longest though, but they do have the pressure from up there as well. Scythia and Georgia are right on each other's butts, but Georgia is going to flip. Then we did have Samaria down here. Where did Persia go? We have a Persia warrior. Persia's way over here right now. Both of the Indian civs are over here. Neither of the Greek civs, which is funny, neither of the Greek civs are actually able to settle. So got a couple of settlers just hanging out right there. And then we have the triangle of China, Korea, and Mongolia. And let's see, 23, full loyalty, 48. So Mongolia is going to be the one that's going to flip first. Hopefully they can get another settler out before that happens so they just don't immediately get taken. Let's see. I forgot which India is which. I think Delhi's Gandhi, right? I don't really remember, but he is suffering loyalty issues. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. And I'm very glad that we played as Indonesia because we're not going to have any loyalty issues probably ever. So that is very, very nice for us. Canberra, my gosh, your freaking territory is large, dude. So Australia is off to a very good start. Mapuche, yeah, Brazil, yeah, you guys are all pretty decent. No one has a second settler out yet. I feel like the Cree are in a very strong location to begin with, too. They have a trader up, but I don't think they've met America yet, so they don't have a trader out going as of yet. London and France both flipped. So we will see if someone can take an early city here, specifically Rome. I'm also wondering, it would be very, very kind of hilarious if, for example, I'm trying to think, you know, Greece, if they took their warrior and took over Paris. Now, by themselves, they couldn't, but maybe if, you know, Rome came and destroyed it and lowered if they basically beat down the city a little bit, maybe they could grab it then, but I doubt it. So St. Petersburg also flipped as well, which is very good for Norway. And then Georgia also flips. So now Scythia is no longer facing pressure. Is Poland facing pressure? Yes, you are. So Poland's still flipping. Macedon's actually about to flip. Rome is at 6 turns, so I'm not entirely sure if they're going to flip, but they might flip as well. We might have a Europe that is completely free-citied here. This is going to be interesting to see. Persia has Samaria rather has a second city down now. Was that a conquered city, or did you actually settle that? Because I don't see any other settlers up yet, so I think you must have conquered that. I don't see any Arabia, so that might have been an Arabian city. Yeah, because I don't see Arabia anywhere on the map, so that's what I'm assuming it probably happened. Okay, so Amsterdam did get a city down. They're going to probably flip right away. 6 turns. 6 turns. Yeah, they're going to flip before Rome, so yeah. Rome is still flipping, even with Macedon no longer putting pressure. So let's see, how many turns till you? You're at 16. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to have... Well, I don't know. We'll see when the Netherlands flip. But it looks like Europe might just be completely free-citied, except for Poland over here in East Europe. So good job, Poland. You survived this time. For once in your life, you survived. Okay, so Delhi is probably still gonna flip. Khmer is in a decently strong position. Mongolia is also in an okay position if they cannot flip, or if they can avoid being flipped. So we'll see how that one plays out. Over here, you do have your trader out up with Toronto, so Mapuche, or the Cree, are in a very strong position to begin with. We still haven't seen any second settlers out yet. I would imagine that they're probably going to start popping out here pretty soon, but not entirely sure. Mapuche is in an okay spot. if they can get a second city down before Brazil. It really kind of depends on where Brazil goes with their second city. If Brazil kind of comes up here, Mapuche is really in an okay spot to expand northwards. The problem is Buenos Aires right there is they really almost need to go conquer Buenos Aires, to be honest. Zulu and Congo don't appear to be at war with each other yet, but I imagine that's going to happen eventually. Oh, Arabia's way over here. Okay, so then who are you? Oh, are you... No, you weren't actually a capital. So you were a city. So somehow Sumer actually got a city down that early. They must... Oh, okay, they must have conquered someone's settler then. They must have declared war on someone who had a settler. That must have been what happened there then. Rome is now also free-citied, and there goes Amsterdam as well. So if you pick Scotland and Poland to survive the big mass in Europe, congratulations. Wow, okay. So long-term, who do we think has the best chance? I would say Scythia. I think Scythia, because mid-game they can really start running over people once they get the horses out. And they have a lot of room to basically explode. So I would put money on them. Obviously, the trendy pick is going to be Brazil, just because, you know. But, you know, as we saw with the World Cup, picking Brazil is not always a good thing. Sorry. Anyways, I'll try not doing any soccer football talk here. Zulu does have a second settler, as does Congo, so it appears to be that time in the game, I guess, when everyone's popping out their second settler. Egypt is still flipping as well. Yeah, they're going to flip. So Nubia is also going to be in a very strong position here, because most of North Africa is going to be open and ripe for the taking. Spain has no place to put down a second city. They could potentially come over here. I don't know, but they also don't have the tech, I think, to settle overseas yet. Australia is also going to be a trendy pick because, you know, they have this entire island to settle. Unfortunately, a lot of it is desert, so it's not a particularly strong area to settle. Yeah, and I mean, they don't really even have fresh water over here besides the capital, so yeah. Really terrible starting location for Indonesia, so yay, Indonesia. We could turn off automation at maybe some point and try taking over and see if we can play as them, but I don't know, probably too big of a map. Probably too big of a map to actually win with them. Mongolia is going to flip. That's unfortunate, and they're, I don't know what happens to the settler if they flip. Will the settler also flip? Will they lose the game because they don't have a city? Yep, yeah, so they just lose the settler. Interesting. Okay, so that's good for China, good for Korea. I imagine China's probably going to be able to expand first because they have the most units right now. Unfortunately, they have quite a few barbarians that they're dealing with. But then again, so does Korea. So Korea looks like they're trying to go north, which is not as strong. China, on the other hand, has... Ooh, they actually lost their settler. Ooh, never mind. I take back everything I said about China being in a good spot, because they are not. Whichever India you are doing good. You got 2 of your cities down, and you'll have Delhi as well. Original capital of India. No, both of the Greek cities are still kind of hanging out there. This is kind of hilarious. Greek. That's awesome. Poland. Are you going to start conquering some of these free cities? I don't know. Norway actually didn't take St. Petersburg yet either. Oh, there you go, actually. Oh, no, Scotland is doing it. What? Scotland is the aggressor, man. All right, let's go. Now, Spain does have 2 archers up, so Amsterdam should fall to Spain here. Should, but, you know, the AI sometimes, you know. Zulu didn't get a second city down. Congo, however, did. So that's probably not going to be a good sign for the long-term survivability of the Congo, or of Zulu, but we shall see. Mapuche did get their second city down. Unfortunately, they went south, not north. And Brazil did go west, so that's going to be hard. I don't know if they can settle over here. 2, 3. They might be able to get one of these spots over here, but we'll see. A lot of barbarians up north, which is going to be good for the competitive balance, because now Brazil's not going to be able to swell completely unchecked. Aztecs are actually going south. All right. That warrior is going to be a bit of an issue, so the Aztecs might be in a very awkward spot. America ended up settling... Why is New Orleans your second city? Why would New Orleans be your second city? It's usually Boston or New York. Or Chicago. Or, like, pretty much any of the eastern cities. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. So they ended up settling east, which is really good for the Cree, because the Cree ended up coming into central U.S. What is this, like Kansas over here? It's almost still Canada. That actually might be like closer to Minnesota. Nah, Wisconsin would be right here. Minnesota would be like right here. So yeah, that might be Minnesota. I don't know. Either way, this is really good for the Cree, because with the Aztecs going south and with America going to the east, they have pretty much the whole west to themselves. So I think they're going to be in a strong position here as well. Spain has not taken over Amsterdam yet. Egypt flipped. Egypt did flip. So Nubia is going to probably start conquering there. We shall see. Oh, they ended up settling way to the south. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Oh, Zulu. Zulu's doing it, guys. Zulu might actually be able to conquer this from the Congo. Okay. Okay, we might have a game here. We might have a game. So, if we turned off the automation, I don't know we've really met anyone as Indonesia, so looking at the scores, probably not going to be too good for us, but we shall see. We shall see. Scythia actually has 3 cities. One of these was Georgia, was it not? No, it's Persia. Oh, really? Persia? Yeah, so they only met 1. We're in the classical era, which is number 2, correct? Yeah, that's the 2nd era. So, and yeah, Persia, or rather, Gatarja's in a dark age, and she's probably going to permanently be in a dark age because of her location and stuff like that. Is there anything else we can really look at? Not really. Can't really see too much stats about anyone until we start meeting some people. We can see how many people are left. Someone is running away with it, with the 104 score. I'm actually wondering who that is. Who would... I think it might be Scythia, right? Scythia has 3 cities. Who else has 3 cities at this point? I don't think anyone does. The free cities. The free cities are the ones running away with it right now. Brazil is in a strong spot too, but I just don't think... They don't have 2 cities. Yeah, I think it's Scythia right now in first place. And they're about to put down city number 4, which... Hell yeah, dude. Let's go. Let's go. China did end up conquering Mongolia's capital. And then Korea actually went northwest a little bit, not as far east as I was expecting. So that's good because they'll at least be competing with China over here to the west. China has quite a bit of spots. This really, we're going to have to see who ends up settling this kind of area right here. Because if it's China, I think China has really good potential for going far in the game. If it's Scythia, once again, I think they have potential to actually win the game. Korea is actually sending a settler over here to the west, but I don't anticipate... I mean, there's no way they're going to hold on to it. There's going to be too much pressure. India, of all people, too, is also doing very, very well. It's awkward because they have so many... they had so many cities right here, but they ended up pulling through just fine. We did end up getting a piece down here, and Zulu, of all people, ended up winning, and they took over the city. They did not take over the... was that the capital? No, this is the capital. No, it's new capital, Congo. So that was the original capital. So Zulu's in a great spot. Congo's in a terrible spot now. Arabia, ironically, is actually in a pretty good spot too. They are a little far behind though because it took them a little bit of time to get over here. But they have a little bit of room to grow. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. Poland put a second city down. However, they've yet to conquer anything. And I don't know if St. Petersburg, if... Scotland did end up taking them at some point, but it is firmly in Norway's hands now. Scythia does have 4 cities. Korea is still trying to put a... They're trying to put a city down, but it doesn't look too good for the settler. It looks like he's going to be captured. No, he did get a city down. But yeah, immediately it's starting to flip. So how many turns till you flip? 12 turns. So yeah. Khmer's okay. It kind of sucks for them because there's not really any room for them to grow except south a little bit, and then they have Hong Kong right there, so they just have to start like conquering. Really, is what they need to do. Same kind of thing going on here with Indonesia. They could put a city over here. It'd be nice if they did do that. Australia only has 2 cities at this point. I would expect them to have had more by now, but not quite. Brazil is looking at city number 3, and oof. So Aztecs did end up losing their settlers, so they're in a really awkward spot. And my gosh, the Cree, dude. The Cree have completely boxed in the US. Wow. Okay. So I think we have a I'm going to say the favorites right now are definitely Korea, Brazil, and then I think Scythia. I think if I have to pick a top 3, it's going to be that. Zulu, I really am liking because they did end up grabbing an early capital, but they're still a little landlocked, and they're going to have to deal with Nubia, who is not weak by any means. And Nubia also has their special archers right now, too. So it's going to be kind of bad for Zulu. Now, later in the game, actually, I think they might be at war. I don't know. But later in the game... Yeah, who are you conquering? You're conquering Zanzibar, okay. Later in the game, though, when Zulu starts getting their unique unit, they might be in a better spot, but we shall see. Persia, or this is Samaria, right? Yeah, Samaria, 4 cities as well. Wow, wow, wow. And they actually have a large, they have quite a few free cities to the west to conquer, too. Okay, so Persia, I would think, is number 4, then. So I said my top 3, and then there's my number 4. Probably going to wrap this up here in a couple turns. Keep these episodes a little shorter. So I'm intrigued to see who you guys think are your top 3. Usually I'm like, hey, who do you think is going to win? Give me your top 3. It's been kind of my thing now that I've been watching a lot of World Cup. I've been like ranking ranking my top 10 teams throughout the World Cup. So who are your rankings thus far? I would love to actually see the score. Unfortunately, we still probably can't. I don't know if we've met anyone else yet. It doesn't look like it because I don't think, well, no, we could get up there and maybe meet India. Let's see. We met Australia, definitely. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's compare Indonesia compared to who we've met. Well, we're not in last place, so there's that. I don't know who's at 14 score. Who would be at 14 score right now? Who was about to get conquered? Was someone about to get conquered? Does someone only have 1 city? It had to be someone with 1 city. Really, I would probably assume at least these 3 we know have to have 1 city only. I don't know about these 2. Because they're at the same score, so I don't know. But anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Love to hear who your guys' picks are. And as always, hit the subscribe button, join the game comment, and show your support. I'll see you guys in a future episode. Later.